Sushagatam. Welcome to our channel Bulletin Board. A very good morning to all the viewers.
An absolutely riveting story is playing out right now, viewer, in the United States, and it has the internet completely transfixed. And I've decided to tell you about it because it is utterly fascinating, as you will see. One of the United States military's most advanced fighter aircraft is missing, and the situation has taken on a near farcical, absurd quality, with US authorities formally asking for the public to help search for this missing jet. Now, the story has garnered so much attention. The word F-35, that's the name of this fighter, is trending on social media in countries all across the world, including here in India. Now, let me tell you what happened and try and demystify this for you a little bit. It started with a routine flight of an F-35B, very much like the fighters you see in these pictures, by a US Marine Corps pilot earlier yesterday in South Carolina. Now, this is not only the most advanced American fighter ever built, it's also the most expensive military aircraft program in American history. The Department of Defense, for instance, estimates it will cost nearly $1.7 trillion to buy, operate, and sustain the F-35 aircraft, thousands of them, and its systems over its entire lifetime. Now, the United States Armed Forces plan to induct thousands of F-35s across the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marine Corps. It was a Marine Corps F-35 that was flying and has gone. The F-35 that's missing is priced at about $80 million, and like I said, was on a routine flight over the American Midwest. The aircraft ran into some kind of mysterious mid-air trouble, and the pilot ejected safely. He's fine, he's safe, he's recovering in a hospital. He managed to land in a place called Charleston. Usually when a pilot punches out of a troubled aircraft, the aircraft flies for a bit before diving out of the sky and crashing into the ground because it doesn't have anyone at the stick in the cockpit to keep the entire thing stable. But now where things get a little bizarre. The fighter, this F-35, was in autopilot mode, which means that even without the pilot, the aircraft continued to fly itself in a stable condition, basically like an advanced drone. Basically, the fighter had entered something that many journalists, many observers call zombie mode. It was basically just flying by itself. Now, it isn't clear how much fuel this F-35 was carrying, but this is still a jet that has a pretty sizable, impressive range, which means it may have flown a fair distance. Who knows? Now, the other question that arises is, why can't the damn thing be tracked in the air? Now, the F-35 is a stealth fighter. And while it isn't certain, it's definitely possible that if this fighter was in full stealth configuration, then tracking it would be extremely difficult for ground radars and controllers. In other words, the very technology that makes the F-35 invisible to enemy radars could possibly now be possible to detect even in its own friendly skies. The only thing that can happen in such a situation is that the aircraft flies straight and level until it exhausts all its fuel and then gently descends and crash lands somewhere. It has happened in the past, not just in the United States, but also in Russia. Now, if this aircraft, if this F-35 is in the wilderness, if it has crashed somewhere in a low populated area or in one of the many big lakes that are around the South Carolina area, finding the aircraft will either be difficult or even impossible or unlikely. With its fuel tanks empty, there won't be any telltale fireball and smoke plume. If it lands in the water, it simply disappears without a trace. Now, things have gotten so bizarre that a US congresswoman has also jumped in on all this, and she's chimed in to ask why the US government and authorities are asking for public help to find an $80 million jet. She says if an $80 million jet cannot be tracked, and if things are really so bad that the public is being asked to help find that missing F-35, then really, in every sense, God help us. So that's what a US Congresswoman is saying. Now, the logical explanation, like I said, is that the aircraft has probably just, gently crash landed somewhere, probably destroyed, but it didn't have a pilot in the cockpit. How ironic and how fascinating.
That's all for today. Thank you and enjoy your day. If you like our channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. মঙ্গলময় হোক আপনার দিনটি। শুভ সকাল। নমস্কার।